Nagito, do you see that standee over there?
Sandy.
Standee's nuts in your mouth? Get wrecked, you sickly little wiener. I'm going to pee on your mom's grave.
Cheeky. Why are we still making these nuts jokes in 2022? The first one was 2014. Funnier memes have been born and died in those years. Is there some kind of youthful cling we make to these jokes? The longing for a past we can never return to, only ironically reference and reminisce about? We struggle to create art, to create meaning, without a sense of comedy to it. Algorithms suppress the art that could cause change, while promoting the short-term solution of laughing at our own misfortune.
Nagito, it was a D's nut joke.
Has a mark of Disney and Marvel's inability to take anything seriously, as well as the majority of content creators on the now monopoly of 4 or 5 websites, prevented us from creating something truly thought-provoking, even if behind a veneer of humor.
I'll play along. Practice is true in many fields of entertainment, especially in an area where reality particularly has lost its appeal, but some genuinely interesting and thought-provoking games still exist out there. For instance, Papers, Please has a comic relief character, Georgia Kostova, but the game's atmosphere promotes thought on the human condition and how many of us are victims of circumstance, and it's up to you whether you want to create a better world or just look after you and yours.
Papers, Please is a good example of a game that goes against what I've said, but that game is also almost 9 years old. It was released only a year after Super Danganronpa 2, and our culture hadn't quite become so cynical yet.
Then let's get a little more modern. Baldur's Gate 3 is less than 2 years old, and for the most part the game takes itself quite seriously.
Hey guys, I'm back with the pizza. What the fuck is going on?
The game doesn't have a lot of humor. In fact, the game wears quite a bit of body horror on its sleeve, even if we don't explicitly see it.
You pull a guy's brain out in the first 10 minutes.
The Mind Flayer tadpole behind your eye could rip your body apart and repurpose you as a Mind Flayer at any moment. There's a lot of dread to be had there.
But ultimately, things like Papers, Please, which promote thought, or Baldur's Gate 3, which takes itself seriously, are exceptions and not the norm, correct? And even among those who claim to rage against the machine, we still ultimately succumb to its whims. It's why things like Five Nights at Freddy's can still make a profit from minorities, even though its creator happily admitted to donating money to politicians that want us gone.
I can agree, there's quite a lot of hypocrisy among us gamers, even the ones that claim they hate Bigo 3. But I don't believe it's as desolate as you insinuate, Nagito. There will always be people who enjoy art as you do, and I've noticed that people are growing tired of cynical humor and stories unable to take themselves seriously.
You say this, but you started this video off with a D's nuts joke.
Hold on. While I think both of you have points, I don't think either of you are seeing the larger picture. Nagito, see the state of modern entertainment as one that cannot take itself seriously. But maybe it's not the existence of comedy, but the repetition of it encouraged by endless meme formats and TikTok's entire setup. Comedy is not your enemy. Repetition for the sake of pleasing an algorithm is. And Chiaki, use exceptions in a single field to support the hypothesis that art in the media is not dead, but it is still an exception. Most media does subscribe to what Nagito laid out. While art and sincerity is not dead, it's certainly down and out in favor of the more cynical, deflective material Nagito described. However, we all usually forget our most valuable tool when it comes to the algorithm engagement. If we truly despise something, the best thing we can do for it in this day and age is to simply ignore it. Dislikes, angry comments, sharing or tweeting, or blogging, stitching, doing all of that generates engagement, and we wind up supporting the very thing we claim to despise. Not with our money, but with something we do all have our time and our attention. But if you divert it elsewhere, then the thing you despise gets less engagement, and thus does not get promoted. So go blog about something you truly enjoy instead. When you do that and introduce everyone else to that joy, you can use the algorithm to your advantage and change the world for the better, slowly but surely.
Or Hajime.
That was surprisingly insightful.
Thank you. Now, eat the fucking pizza before it goes cold.
Today's closing segment that completely muddies the tone of the video is brought to you by the letter J. For just as Chris, I am not going to have a free day until next Friday. Please send in help.